Oh, hello. In this video we will learn types of fractions, and later on we will try changing one type of fractions into another. Right. The first type of fractions, which is quite common, is called proper fractions. Now, before we talk about proper fractions, we need to know what a fraction means. Now, fraction to me, fraction means part of the whole. I mean, you're taking a part of the whole quantity. I mean, if you got a full pizza here, fraction means that you've got a whole part, and you're maybe taking a part of it. I've just split up this pizza into two halves. I can split it up into further parts. For example, if I make quarters and you're taking a chunk of 1, that means you've eaten 1 out of 4. So that means you're taking 1 part out of the 4 parts, right? So it's 1 out of 4. 1 part out of 4, which is, so you so 1 part of the 4 parts is eaten, okay, which means 1, 2, 3 parts are left, so 3/4 is left, right? Now, so fraction is a part of the whole okay, quantity. So if I write down what fraction means in words, fractions is actually a it's a part of the whole, right? Now, if I'm taking less than whole, it's called a proper fraction, which means proper fractions are actually less than a whole. So it's actually less than 1 whole, okay? Mathematically, I can call it less than a whole, or less than the size of 1 whole is called proper fractions. What do I mean by 2/5? 2/5 means that I've got 2 parts out of 5. So if I have 5 parts in this, if I've got 5 parts in this shape, and I shade 2 of them. Let me first split this shape up into 5 parts. Ideally, they should be equal sized. I don't think they look like very equal, but I mean, they should be equal sized, okay? So if I've got 5 parts and I shade 2 of them, that means that part or that fraction is 2/5. And this type of fraction, because it's still less than a whole, is called a proper fraction, right? So proper fractions again are the fractions which are less than 1 whole, right? Now, what you know about proper fractions is that you're only taking maybe a part of the whole thing. Now, let's talk about the other type of the fraction, which is an improper fraction. Improper fractions are also called, they're also called top heavy fractions. Now, why are they called top heavy fractions? Clearly because the top number, when you write it down as a fraction, top number could be bigger than the bottom number. Now, in fractions, top number is called numerator, okay, and the bottom number is called denominator. So if denominator is less than 5, it can be any number, for example 4. 5/4, that kind of fraction is called a top heavy fraction, and we call it improper fraction, right? Now, improper fraction generally is bigger than 1 whole. Now, I can see that if I split a circle up, if I take a circle, I will have to draw another one here. if I take a circle, I can see that, you know, if I split this circle in 4 parts, I've got 4 parts here for this circle, right? And I do the same with this one as well. Now what I need to do is I can see now 5 parts out of 4. Now both these circles have got 4 parts in them, 4 here, 4 here, and I need to take 5 out of them, which means that, so I have to take all of this because I need to take 5 parts, so 4, and then that's 5th, right? So so I can see that, you know, you actually have got more than one whole. So improper fractions are the fractions which are more than one whole, okay, or where top number is bigger than the bottom number, right? Now mixed numbers is actually a different way of writing improper fractions down, right? So here, I mean, for example, if I've got the same fraction 5 over 4, so if I write 5 over 4 down, now I can see in this picture that 5 over 4 is actually 1 whole and 1 quarter, right? So which means that it's actually 1 whole and 1 quarter, right? Now writing an improper fraction in this form is called a mixed number. Now why do you think it's called a mixed number? Because it is a mixture of a whole number, which is an integer part, and a proper fraction, right? So it's a mixture of two things, a whole number and a proper fraction, so it's called a mixed number. So that's how you write down a mixed number, okay? I mean, if I say I've got another mixed number 2 and 3/5, that means I'm bound to have 2 wholes, okay? And then I've got and if I look at the third one, not very good at this, if I get another one, third one, so if I just join the with the, assume that they're circles, they don't look like circles, but so if I make 5 parts out of each, because my denominator is 5, so I can see that I've got 1 whole, which means I've got that and that, and I've got 3/5 from here. So that is a mixed number, okay? So 2 and 3/5, right? So you've got a whole number part, okay, which is 2, and you've got clearly an improper, a proper fraction here, which is 3/5, 3 parts out of 5. Now next task is how to change improper fractions into mixed numbers. Now if I go back onto previous one, I can see here that, you know, that was my improper fraction, and I can see in this picture that, you know, it's been changed into a mixed number by writing down 1 whole and 1 quarter. So 5 over 4 is 1 whole and a quarter. Now how would you do that mathematically? So if I have got, let's say, if I start with the same fraction 5 over 4 and need to change into 1 and a quarter, now mathematically 5 over 4 means 5 divided by 4, so which means I have to divide 5 by 4. So how many 4s make a 5? Okay, obviously I've got a whole 4, because 4 times 1 makes 4, but then because my number is 5, I've got a remainder of 1, so a whole and 1, and because I'm dividing by 4, so it's 1 and a quarter. So if I take another example, for example 13 over 4, how many 4s go into 13? 4, 8, 12, so it's 3, and my remainder is 1, and I'm dividing by 4. We tend to write this whole number part bigger because obviously size is bigger compared to a quarter, right? Do you want to try? You try a few questions as well. 7 over 5, 17 over 5, that is 21 over 4, and 73 over 10. You can pause the video, get the answers, and then you can compare yours with mine. Right, what we do in this case is we are dividing 17 by 5. How many 5s in 17? That's 3, a remainder of 2 and 5, 2/5, right? How many 4s in 21? That's 5 with a remainder of 1. Okay, how many 10s in 73? Which is 7, remainder 3. So this is how you change an improper fraction into a mixed number. Now my question is, how do you do other way around? I mean, how do you change a mixed number into an improper, right? What you do is, let me write down a mixed number. For example, if I write down 4 and 2/5. Now we know what 4 and 2/5 means. It means that if I have got all pizzas split up in 5 slices, 4 whole means I've got 4 times 5, 20 slices here, and I've got 2/5 here as well, so 20 and 2, 22 slices in 5s, right? And how do I make it quickly? What I do is I times my denominator by this whole number, so 5 times 4 makes 20, and I add numerator to that, so 20 add 2 is 22. So I will repeat that. Multiply denominator by the whole number. 5 times 4 makes 20, and add the numerator to that, so that's 22 over 5. And you can always check, by going backward. Divide 22 by 5. How many 5s in 22? 4, remainder 2/5, right? Try this number, 2 and 3/4. So 4 times 2, 8, add 3, 11, and denominator never changes, so 11 over 4. You want to try these two questions for me? Try 4 and a third, and also try 8 and 2/5. So what is 4 and a third? Right, 4 times 3, 12, add 1, 13, so it's 13 over 3. What is 8 and 2/5? 5 times 8, 40, add 2, 42 over 5. Okay, so this is how you change a mixed number into an improper. Let's have a little recap. What we've got here is, we talked about the types of fractions. Proper fraction is the one which is less than the whole, right? And we come across with proper fractions every day, right? Improper fraction is obviously it's also called top heavy fraction, which is more than a whole, and mixed number is when you try changing improper fraction into a whole number part and a fraction part. Then how do we change an improper fraction to a mixed number? It's a simple division. Okay, you divide and try writing in remainder form. And then how do we change a mixed number into an improper fraction? It is supposed to be times and add. So what you do is you multiply denominator by the whole number and add the numerator. Okay, I hope this video would have been useful. Okay, thank you for watching.